10 o'clock, welcome in. It's the Thursday edition of Three Man Front. Landrum, Pat, Conrad, Molly, glad that you're all with us here on a beautiful day, and it's going to get into the 70s. Thank goodness. Not ready for winter yet. A lot to talk about. We got college football games this weekend, meaningful games, Alabama, Oklahoma, and others. Also, Pat, we continue to have smoke out of different places concerning head coaching vacancies and searches by athletic directors.
Really? Is that still going on?
That's still going on.
I thought all the schools in the Southeastern Conference had gone ahead and named their coach.
I was hoping that that's what we would have this morning because that would be a jam-packed show.
Well, they're going to wait till 2 o'clock for Paul.
Yeah, 2:05.
I mean, it's nothing during our show.
No.
Nothing big ever happens between 10 and 2.
We've had our moments. We had a pope that was named.
That was huge. That was big.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, about so.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. My Maction hit last night.
Attaboy.
Hit the big parlay.
Yep.
It was a big night.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was Conrad I texted talking about what a great Christmas my kids are going to have now.
Good.
It's a good night.
That's good.
Don't let him fool you. He was real down in the dumps early on last night, and then
Well, and there's a good reason why.
no, fair.
I mean, come on. I got Toledo and the 5.5 points. So they march down the field, facing a third down inside the red zone. Quarterback goes to just throw the ball out of bounds. But instead, he decides didn't have enough gusto on it, and it's picked off in the back of the end zone. Like, seriously, he's trying to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have enough on it. They intercept it. Okay. 3 and out. They punt it away. Toledo gets the ball back. Listen to me. I'm a Toledo Rocket now.
You are.
All of a sudden, get the ball inside the red zone again. Guess what happens? Another interception.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes. But the good news is Toledo was up 7-0 at right before the half, and then Miami of Ohio screwed up, got the ball, scored with like 2 seconds left to go at half. So it was 14-0 at halftime. I felt much better after that. But, yeah, the game started. It was a complete nightmare.
Where's Joe Milton when you need a quarterback to throw a ball way out of bounds?
And, by the way, Miami, the Red Hawks, they have another really, really good kicker.
Jack Martin.
So Martin knows how to recruit kickers.
He does. That's why he was so mad when Graham Nicholson got kidnapped the way he portrayed it.
Yeah, that was bad news when, Kalen DeBoer came up there and stole him. But, yeah, it was a good night because then I took this was a no-brainer. I took Northern Illinois in the 10.5 against UMass.
Yeah.
6,577 people in attendance in Amherst for that game last night.
My pick was what, 5,000? Mm-hmm. So that's about right. Must have been a nice night in Amherst. That's a big crowd.
Well, you did have your crowd get up top with their shirts off. That's become a thing now.
That's exactly what we want to see
in college football. So, yeah, Maction, a triple header last night. So, yeah, a lot of fun. I enjoy Maction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
We've never been able to pick that up.
Yeah, it's genuine good football.
If anybody deserves swag from a conference, it's you from the MAC.
Absolutely.
You have promoted that brand as long as we've been doing this show.
Well, listen, as I'm sitting there watching, so Oxford, Ohio is actually smaller than Oxford, Mississippi. And it's about 4 miles from the Indiana state line. So I'm really thinking about next year. Let's me and you fly to Indianapolis. You've got some family in Indiana. I think some folks could probably take care of us. And let's drive over.
We got a place to stay. It's done.
Let's go over and let's get some action.
We can do it.
I think it would be a great idea.
I'm all about that. I still want to go. I want to go to an IU football game if that's ever possible, if the bye weeks line up. But also I want to go to an IU basketball game. But Miami of Ohio, I'd like to go back to that campus.
Yeah. I think
let's just make a little MAC tour. It seems like, with the exception of Buffalo, we could knock a lot of it out.
I've got plenty of people in Michigan you could stay with.
Just a rental car. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah. We could do Central Michigan, then
Western.
Over to Western. I could reach out to Lance Taylor, the head coach of Western Michigan, the former Alabama wide receiver. He follows me on Twitter. I'll send him a direct message.
I'll shoot a text to Joe Moorhead.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's still at Akron.
Pickle?
Yeah, Kool-Aid Pickle. He remembers those days.
We got this set up.
We're good.
Yeah. We're gold. We're gold. We're going to do it next year.
Okay.
Seriously. I want to do it.
I'm all about it. I love it.
All right.
I love that part of the country.
All right. We'll do that. Last night, the SEC availability report came out. And if you listen to this show, Tyler McComas from KREF Radio, he told us on Tuesday that it did not look good for R. Mason Thomas And R. Mason Thomas, the outstanding defensive lineman, edge rusher, whatever you want to call him, he's 5th in the SEC in sacks. He's got 6.5. He's also 7th in the SEC in tackles for loss. He popped up on the availability report last night. He was listed as questionable. Thomas injured his quad during the first quarter of Oklahoma's win against Tennessee. It happened as he was returning a fumble 71 yards for a touchdown, and he messed up his quad. So he is now listed as questionable against Alabama. And Tyler McComas told us Tuesday he didn't think he was going to play.
Well, and look, that's a win for Alabama if he's 50%. But that's the strength of this Oklahoma team. That's what they do. So if he's not 100%, then I guess you take that as a win.
Well, and there's more problems on the defensive side for Oklahoma. On the availability report, starting Mike linebacker Kobe McKenzie, he injured his groin against Ole Miss. McKenzie suited up but did not play against Tennessee, but he was listed as probable on the availability report. Also, defensive tackle Jaden Jackson, he showed up on the availability report. The sophomore did not appear to be injured against the Vols. He played in 39 snaps, but now he's on the availability report. So a lot of things can happen over the next couple of days. But Conrad, based on what Tyler told us the other night, I would think that R. Mason Thomas is the one that most likely will not play.
Yeah, it seems that's it's trending in that direction. And like Landrum said, right, that's a boost if you're the Alabama offense and particularly that offensive line to what you're going to have to face on Saturday. But, yeah, I mean, that's big if you have – I mean, you're talking about that defensive front and really that front seven for Oklahoma that's been so good this year, and you've got 3 of those 7 starters on the availability report. Now we expect, the linebacker, he's probable, so he'll probably go. But if you're going to lose R. Mason Thomas off the edge and then you're going to lose Jaden Jackson at defensive tackle, I mean, that's a huge loss for Oklahoma heading into this matchup.
Yes, and as far as the availability report goes, here we go. We've got some breaking news as we start this program on this beautiful, sunny, warm Thursday. Let me throw it over to my cohort, Landrum Roberts, with some breaking news.
As our friend Trey Wallace described yesterday, he's the one that broke the story there at Baylor with the confrontation of athletic director Mack Rhoades, who is also the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee. This being reported by our own Heather Dinich, right?
Yep, Heather
friend of the
Dinich.
show.
Dinich.
Dinich to some. Baylor athletic director and College Football Playoff chairman Mack Rhoades is taking a leave of absence from his position at the school for personal reasons, he told ESPN today.
Just from the school.
Told ESPN he had initiated the leave, but declined to explain why. Baylor has also released a statement acknowledging that Rhoades was on leave, but has declined to comment further.
And that means he's also out of the CFP chairperson, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Rhoades is expected to be replaced in his roles as the CFP chairman and committee member. And typically the requirement for athletic directors on the group is to be active, sitting athletic directors. In this case, he would not be. That's news.
I would say that's significant news. Once again, he is one person in a room of the College Football Playoff, but that is significant where the chairperson has to step aside after the first 2 rankings. Very interesting.
Well, and Trey Wallace said, just keep your eyes after the end of the regular season. Mack Rhoades could find himself answering questions from an attorney, and maybe that's it's funny. I was thinking this morning with Mack Rhoades, with what Trey told us, and knowing that was looming, that'd be really, really, really hard to enjoy the next few weeks.
I just appreciate, because Trey was texting me over the weekend about what was going on in Waco, and when he told me that, hey, listen, I did the hit with y'all last week. Literally, I was at the coffee shop 25 miles outside of Waco waiting for my source to show up to give me the rest of this story about what was happening. And I said, well, I'm glad that you're committed to 3-man front. Thank you for doing that. He's telling his source, hey, hold on a second. I got to do this radio hit in Birmingham, and then I'll get to the big breaking story. That
I love Trey. He's awesome. So my question would be, who is that next in line to assume? Did you have I guess you had a vice chair, maybe, that they put in place just in case something like this happens? This is definitely unprecedented.
Very much so. I'm sitting here looking at the list. Well, Jeff Long's on the list. Remember, he did it a few years ago.
Who else? Any other SEC ties?
Got Ivan Mizell, who's from Mobile.
Okay.
You got Hunter Yurachek, who's the athletics director at Arkansas. This one might be a good one. Carla Williams, she is the athletics director at the University of Virginia. She's very well respected.
Okay.
So that might be someone because she's a sitting athletics director. If you're going that route, I don't see them going to hand it to, former Nevada head coach Chris Ault. No offense to Chris.
No.
Chris was a really good coach. I just don't see him.
All right, so Carla is who we are thinking may be the early leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I don't think, especially with the SEC potentially having 5 teams in the college football playoff, I think that Hunter Yurachek would not be the one that would get the nod.
Well, he's got some other things going on.
Yeah, he's trying to find a football
Well,
coach.
the backlash would be great if he did.
Okay, so you asked. Okay, so interesting. So you asked about any kind of SEC ties. How about Alabama ties? So you got Ivan Mizell, who's on the committee. He's from Mobile, Alabama. He did go to Stanford. His brother, noted individual there in the Mobile area. Mike Riley, the former head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And the New Jersey Generals.
And at one time accepted the University of Alabama head coaching job. And at the last minute.
Mama called and he hung up on her.
Yep. Because he played wide receiver at Alabama. A lot of people don't remember that. But, yeah. Mike Riley's on the committee. So, yeah. Wesley Walls. Remember Wesley Walls?
Mm-hmm.
Wesley Walls. He was a good football player. He's on the committee. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, Mack Rhoades out as the college football chairperson. Very interesting.
Maybe that's a good thing for Dave Aranda.
Maybe so. Maybe Dave gets another year. We'll see. Back to the availability report. We were talking about the Oklahoma list. I did find it interesting, and we'll talk to Rodney Orr coming up at 11 o'clock and get his feelings. But Quay Russaw is now listed as questionable. And if Alabama were to get Quay Russaw back, wow, that's huge. That's significant.
Well, and so Kalen DeBoer touched on that a little bit on Hey Coach last night, and it seems like he is certainly the definition of questionable for Saturday against Oklahoma. But outside of that, the good news is he should definitely be back for the Iron Bowl and then potentially a postseason run, which is huge because I think we all thought he was done for the season regardless when he got hurt. So that would be massive for Alabama. You have him and Yanze Pierre the way he's been playing out there together. That could cause some damage.
Yeah, that changes a lot of things for Alabama moving forward if Quay Russaw is indeed available to go. So we're off and running on this Thursday. Already had some breaking news. When we come back, we'll tell you what we're hearing on the Auburn coaching front. All that straight ahead on this Thursday edition of 3-Man Front. Already had some breaking news this morning. If you listen to this program, Trey Wallace from Outkick, who's a guest every Wednesday on this show, he broke the story over the weekend about an altercation on the sideline with Mack Rhodes, who is the athletics director at Baylor and who is also the chairperson for the College Football Playoff Committee. And ESPN there's reported this morning, Landrum, some news in which he is going to step aside.
Yeah, he's taking a leave of absence from his position at the school for personal reasons, and he told ESPN that he initiated the leave but declined to explain why, and Baylor has now released a statement acknowledging that Rhodes was on leave but has also declined to comment further.
Well, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a Train comfort specialist. Train has been recognized for 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand and our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jock. So go and visit train.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
Well, one thing's for sure, every single day you hear different things in regards to the openings around the Southeastern Conference. I know we had a fun segment yesterday for entertainment purposes only, but for the purposes of the next 12 minutes, what we're discussing is serious. It's not a bunch of hooey that we're just throwing up on the wall. We're going to tell you what we've been hearing in regards to all these other coaching searches around the Southeastern Conference. Let's start with down on the plains of Auburn. Partner, really nothing has changed in regards to what I'm hearing, and I believe what you're hearing, which is John Sumrall is clearly, I believe, the number one candidate for that job.
Yeah, I think John Sumrall is somebody that Auburn, for obvious reasons, with his ties to the state, the success he's had as a head football coach, and his reputation among high school coaches and fellow college coaches, he's number one. But also the other collection of names that we're hearing, I think those guys are squarely in the mix. Do think that it would be a long shot at this point for DJ Durkin to be named the next head coach.
Yeah, and if you're Auburn, you would hope that whoever is the next head coach, that DJ Durkin, I believe he will be given the opportunity if he would like to stay at Auburn and continue on. I think that will be an option. But like you, it seems like going for current head coaches, that seems to be the theme that has at least been developing the people that I talked to over the last couple of days.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens.
If John Sumrall is your guy, then there has obviously been communication between the two parties, whether it was Sumrall himself and talking to John Cohen or his representatives talking to John Cohen. But think that Sumrall, right now, it seems like it would be his to lose.
And I also believe that there is at least a couple of sitting SEC head coaches that potentially could be in the mix at Auburn. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Arkansas, shall we? A lot of smoke, a lot of things going on in Northwest Arkansas. Trey Biddy, outstanding reporter. He works for hogsports.com. He posted this on social media last night about James Franklin.
I know that Arkansas has made contact. And from what our sources have told us, that Arkansas is, and I reported this a couple of weeks ago. I think I first started reporting this on October 28th, but that Arkansas's plan was to put a package out there for James Franklin that he would have to say no to, that he would be intrigued by at the very least. I still think the odds are stacked against James Franklin ending up at Arkansas for a lot of reasons, but that does appear to be their guy that they want to at least say no.
There you go. That's Trey Biddy. He's as connected as anybody, and he is basically saying that it's James Franklin. That's who they're going after. But there has not been really any strong indication whether James Franklin wants to fulfill that position or maybe another job out there.
Well, if I'm thinking about potential jobs, one would not be open, and who knows what they do in Tallahassee. But Florida State, if you're looking at wish list, and man, this actually could happen, I think Florida State would be at the top of his list. We've heard his name floated for that job and other jobs in the state of Florida before. Then I would guess it would be Arkansas next.
Mm-hmm.
And then third would be good old Virginia Tech that made him that offer initially, which
now,
I couldn't fault him for that order.
Yeah. Trey Biddy also went on to talk about, to his knowledge, there's only two candidates that they have actually reached out to at Arkansas as of this moment. James Franklin and Rhett Lashley. The only two that they have reached out to. He also said, and this is big, you remember when they fired Sam Pittman, I had talked to a couple of people that told me that Arkansas was willing to up the ante in which they were going to spend money for the football program. Trey Biddy reported that the athletic department is working to inject an additional $40 million into football program to go with the current budget. So they want to go $40 million above their current budget. They're currently 14th in the SEC in spending. Their football program, 14th. Trey Biddy is reporting that they are looking to get between 5 and 8 in the SEC. So they want to go from 14th to be potentially maybe a top 5 or at least 5, 6, 7, or 8 in regards to spending. So that would be significant, and I think that would probably get the attention of some people that would come to Northwest Arkansas to coach.
Yeah, because naturally I would think that you would need to have that kind of spending. Not saying that you have to go Texas Tech level to get kids to buy into Lubbock, but money talks these days. History of the program, or even in some cases, what your record was just last season, these kids don't care. And I can honestly say at that age, I probably wouldn't have cared either.
Yeah, I agree. So the other name, James Franklin, you heard it on the clip from Trey Biddy, that two people they've talked to at Arkansas, James Franklin, Rhett Lashley. So where do things stand with James Franklin and Virginia Tech? Last night, this was updated late yesterday afternoon. This is from VT Scoop. This is Evan Williams. He's one of the writers there. This was behind the paywall.
What a great name.
Evan Williams, yep. Don't know if I'm sorry. I was thinking Evan Williams. His actual name is Evan Watkins. My bad. Sorry.
That's back to your fraternity days.
Sorry.
Did you go
days.
green label or black label?
Yeah, just the old college days kind of snuck into my my conversation there. I
$10,
apologize.
you could have a good time.
He was that or Boone's Farm. Evan Watkins. That is the gentleman's name from VT Scoop. I'm just going to read this directly. This was his update. He goes, all right, Hokies, things are moving in a positive direction after a very productive few days with regards to Virginia Tech's quest to sign James Franklin. The latest I am hearing is that the deal is inside the 5-yard line. It is not done yet, but it is close. It has been. Right now, there are a few things on the Penn State side of the house with regards to his buyout that needs to be done before Franklin can put pen to paper. But Virginia Tech and Franklin are in a very good place, and things appear to be trending in a positive direction. If this deal gets done, I think we will see some news start to leak out by kickoff on Saturday night against Florida State. If it doesn't, I think Chesney is the next option at this time. For those that may not know Chesney, he is the current head football coach at James Madison. So
well,
there you go. So
here's the good news, I guess, for Virginia Tech. They're 47th in red zone scoring right now in college football. So if he's within the 5-yard line,
pretty good.
50-50 chance.
Pretty good percentage. So according to VTScoop.com, that's the 247 site for Virginia Tech, they are saying that it is inside the 5-yard line with James Franklin possibly being the next head coach of the Hokies.
Now I feel like I need to go look up their red zone numbers from this year. See how accurate that could be for. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I can send them. I can send them to you. But yeah, they're 47th. They're tied with a host of other teams, including the Georgia Bulldogs.
How about that? Very rarely do you have Georgia football and Virginia Tech football in the same sentence.
Yeah. Maybe not as good of a thing for Georgia as it is for Virginia Tech in that scenario.
So that's the very latest that we could share with you in the wonderful coaching carousel around college football, not only in this state, but obviously in the state of Arkansas and Virginia Tech. Because, listen, James Franklin's name, I have not heard his name for Auburn.
Mm-mm.
Briefly heard at LSU, but that's kind of gone by the wayside. But Florida, absolutely. His name's in the mix there. Obviously, Arkansas. And we just told you what the Virginia Tech people are saying. So Jimmy Sexton's been very busy on the James Franklin front.
Yeah. Yeah. That will be very, very interesting. Something tells me James Franklin is not going to be at Virginia Tech. I don't think it happens.
I think he will hold out for that other job, whatever that other job is. And Virginia Tech will say, we can't wait any longer. Like, we have to move on. And I think they'll go with Chesney.
Because there is still a lot of appeal for a James Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
He's won a lot of football games.
It was shocking when Brian Edwards told us 2 weeks ago. He goes, I'd take him. I'm ready for 9 wins.
Yeah.
Like that. Like they're so desperate to get over that 6-7 win plateau, that they will take a guy that can't win the big game.
Based on, what you've had and the uncertainty, he's proved it at two different places and big-time places when you consider the conference that Vanderbilt and Penn State play in. So, you could do a lot worse than James Franklin.
No doubt. Foundation problems can affect your home's safety, appearance, and value, and it's only going to get worse over time if you don't call APS. That's Alabama Professional Services, 205-951-9717. Simply go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. Since 1977, the great people at APS, they have been helping homeowners solve the most challenging problems, whether it's foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, concrete repair. They can get started today. They're going to send out a very talented crew to your house, and they're going to assess your situation and give you a plan moving forward. And they're professional waterproofers. They can easily identify the cause of your wet basement, those musty odors or mold problems that can cause health issues around your house. So get started today. That's APS, Alabama Professional Services, at 205-951-9717.
We'll continue with the Thursday edition of Three Man Front. We'll get an update from Rodney or Tider Insider at the top of the hour. Alabama taking on Oklahoma this weekend. Your phone calls or texts are welcome, as well as we roll on this Thursday on Jocks.
It's 10:31. Welcome back in on the Thursday edition of Three Man Front. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama as a preview of the Oklahoma-Bama game coming up. Should be a really good one. 2:30 kickoff there. and wonderful Bryant-Denny Stadium. You know what? The weather is turning before our eyes. Now's the time to get your mowers and tractors serviced. For the end of the season, an Artec tractor is the place to do it. They're your certified Mahindra servicing dealer, and just in time for the hunting season, their hunter's package includes the Mahindra 1635 with loader, trailer, bush hog, tiller, and spreader, all for $0 down and just $450 per month. Artec has a full line of tractors as well as heavy construction equipment for those big jobs just north of Jasper on Highway 5. Check them out online at artectractor.com. We've got NFL action tonight. Not that it's going to be a really good one between the Pats and the Jets, but each and every week we get into the corner with Conrad. That sounds really weird. This is what we call Conrad's Fantasy Corner.
Fantasy.
He needs like Mariah Carey music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we normally have Miss Mariah, the Queen of
Fantasy.
Christmas, but unfortunately today we did not. But that's okay, because it is, like Pat said, another great week of NFL action, even if tonight's game is probably going to stink. But hey,
Now, the Patriots they got the new uniforms they're debuting tonight.
they do have the new uniforms. Yeah, those are going to look nice. And if you're
I wouldn't go that far, but
I liked them.
you did?
Did you see the Rams' new ones, the black that they're going to be wearing this week?
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, you would.
I just saw a funny comment. Somebody said, man, Matthew Stafford's veneers are really going to pop in those black uniforms.
I don't like the Patriots at all.
Fan?
No.
They're not my favorite, but I think
Oh.
we know how I am with uniforms. I'm a little bizarre.
You are weird.
I am weird. All right, let's get into the fantasy corner, though. Let's start with looking back at last week really quick, because if you had any of these guys in your lineup, you did quite well. So only 3 players scored over 30 points last week, and they were all running backs. So Jonathan Taylor, he's probably been the best player in fantasy football all season long. Certainly deserves to be in the MVP discussion. All he did last weekend, 32 carries for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Added 3 catches for 42 yards as well. He's been amazing this
Wait,
year.
I meant to ask, did you win last week? Did you win?
That is not.
Molly, did you not win?
No, I did not.
What's your record
Unfortunately.
this year
Let me look.
in fantasy? What's yours?
I'm
Connor?
5-5.
Okay.
I am 4-6.
Okay.
I've
Not
had
bad though, because I started like 0-4.
And by the way, the cards were stacked against you the way y'all drafted. That
Oh,
was
I know.
stupid.
It was awful.
That was stupid. I would not be a part of that group again.
And I'm like kind of in the middle. I think I'm number 5.
Just
number 5 or 6.
tell them, shove off. You're done.
Maybe next year.
I'll negotiate for you. You're out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Pat will be your agent.
Yeah.
It'll be great. But besides Jonathan Taylor, last week you had Devon Achane. He goes for 40.5 points, had 174 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 51 receiving yards as well. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, former Alabama running back and Lions running back now, he had 38.2 points. He had 3 total touchdowns, 172 total yards of offense, both on the ground and in the passing game. So a fantastic week for all of those players. Now, you need to keep an update on this because there's 2 teams on bye this week. One of them is going to be a big hit to you, and the other one, nobody cares. That would be the Colts, and I just mentioned Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren. They have a lot of really good fantasy players. They're all on the bench this week for the bye week. And then, you have the Saints. You probably shouldn't be playing anybody from the Saints. They're not very good. All right, now to the big injury news, and there is some big injury news this week. So we'll start off with this. Joe Burrow. Expectation is that he will return not this week, but in 2 weeks. So maybe worth keeping him on your bench if you dropped him early in the season because it looks like he will be back in 2 weeks for the Bengals. And then contrary to what A.J. Brown said on I think it was Twitch yesterday or YouTube, whatever it was, he told everyone to drop him in fantasy. He's obviously not happy in Philadelphia, not happy with his role in the passing game. Do not drop A.J. Brown. He is too good to leave on the waiver wire, but maybe worth keeping on your bench, but don't drop him like he told you to do. He's too good for that. All right, now let's get to tonight's game. Some big injury news for tonight. 3 big players out for the Jets and Patriots, starting off with Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 1 for the Jets. He's out for the next 3 to 4 weeks, so that makes...
So are you telling me to take the New England in the 11.5?
I think that's probably a safe bet.
Okay.
Jets are pretty bad. And they're without their best offensive player now. For the Patriots, though, Ramondre Stevenson and Kayshon Boutte, they're both going to be out again for the Patriots. If you have Travion Henderson, though, you don't care because he's been incredible for the Patriots with Stevenson out of the mix. For the Commanders, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin both out this week. Jaden Daniels had that elbow injury. He's expected to miss at least 3 weeks, but that could go to as many as 6. So he's out for the foreseeable future. Jackson Dart also out this week with a concussion, but that just means it's time for Jameis Winston. So that could be fun this weekend. We'll get into that in a second, though. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's out, had an emergency appendectomy this week, so he's going to be out this week for the Cardinals. Lamar Jackson expected to play. He's been banged up, missed a couple games early in the season, but he's expected to play this week for the Ravens. Brock Purdy looks like he's going to make his return after missing a significant chunk of time. Mac Jones doing a good job filling in there for the 49ers, but Brock Purdy trending towards starting this weekend for the first time in a while. For the Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr. is questionable, so that's a big one to keep an eye out for. And if you missed the news earlier, Travis Hunter is out for the rest of the season after he had knee surgery earlier this week. For the Bills, Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid, both listed as questionable there. Devontae Adams, he's had quite a season, a return to form for him in L.A., but he's questionable for the Rams this weekend. Rico Dowdle for the Panthers, he's been great. He's questionable. Isaiah Pacheco, questionable for the Chiefs there at the running back spot. If you play anybody from the Bears, their entire team is banged up. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, they're all banged up, so keep an eye on that. Sam Laporta for the Lions, he's questionable at tight end. Dalton Schultz is questionable at tight end for the Texans. And then for the Chargers, Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnson both banged up as well. So keep an eye on all of those guys if you have them on your roster. Now for some waiver wire pickups, we are going to start at quarterback. And just for fun, not saying this is the best option, it's fun to play Jameis Winston, though. You never know. He might go out there and throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also might be terrible. But if you want to have fun, Jameis Winston may be worth some consideration. But more seriously, Jacoby Brissett, he's been fantastic since taking over for Kyler Murray. Worth a look there at quarterback. For the running backs, Sean Tucker for the Buccaneers. Rashad White is banged up, so Sean Tucker been getting a lot of the lead back kind of usage and reps there for the Buccaneers, so he's worth picking up. Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs, with Pacheco potentially being out again, he's worth an add. And then Tyler Algier for the Falcons. Yes, they have Bijan Robinson, but Algier had 2 touchdowns last week for Atlanta. At wide receiver, you got some options this week. Cardinals wide receiver Michael Wilson will fill in for Marvin Harrison Jr. Buccaneers Tez Johnson, he's been great over the last month or so of the season. Had 20 points last week in fantasy for Tampa Bay. Alec Pierce for the Colts, he was their leading receiver last week, had a great week, double-digit points for him, so another worthwhile addition there. At tight end for the Buccaneers, Cade Otton, he's been really solid this year, still available in over 50% of leagues on ESPN. And then Dalton Schultz, I know I said he's questionable for the Texans, but if he goes, certainly worthy of a start there at tight end. And now Molly's favorite part, the defenses.
Yes.
Because you should be streaming your defenses unless you have a elite defense that you've held on to all season long. I've got 2 for you this week. I'm playing the Cowboys versus the Raiders. Cowboys defense not great. Raiders are really, really bad, and Geno Smith might not play, so they could be even worse. Actually, that might make them better. Falcons, they're going to be taking on the Panthers. Panthers' magic seems to maybe have run out a little bit. They were terrible against the Saints last week. Falcons, a much better team, should win that game, and Bryce Young's just not very good still. So that is your fan. He's not, unfortunately.
It pains you.
Not as much as Tua. But that is your fantasy football update of the week. Good luck to everyone in your matchups, and we'll be back next week for Week 12.
Thank you, Conrad. Conrad's Fantasy Corner. So we'll see if he can get above 500 in his fantasy league and see if Molly can get back to 500. We'll see what happens.
How about our friends at Mandu? I'll tell you what's going to happen when you go there on your first visit. They're going to put you through the workout if you choose to go through it. Mandu is electrical muscle stimulation fitness, and what that means, it's all FDA approved. It doesn't hurt, but it's a 15-minute workout. Boutique fitness at its best. 15 minutes, the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym because of that technology. And right now, if you go into Mandu in downtown Homewood, tell Paul and the gang it's your first time being there. Your first visit is free, but also tell them you heard it on Jocks, and what that's going to mean is 10% off the life of your membership, 15% off if you mention Jocks and you're a student. And don't forget, our listeners up in North Alabama in the Huntsville area, Mandu now has a studio near you. Mandu in downtown Homewood or in Huntsville, MANDUU.com. Check it out, learn more, and always tell them Landrum from Jocks sent you.
1-800-239-WJOX. That's the phone number. If you would like to shoot us a text, we always love to hear from you. 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line. More of the Thursday edition of Three Man Front is next. Well, the big story in college football, Trey Wallace from Outkick, he had the story over the weekend that Mac Rhodes, who is the athletics director at Baylor University, he was involved in a sideline altercation. He is now stepping aside from not only his athletic directors, it's a leave of absence, but he's also now going to step down from the chairperson of the College Football Playoff Committee. Not that the chairperson carries any more weight than anybody else in that room, Landrum, but he is the face of the College Football Playoff.
Yeah, and he said that he was taking leave for personal reasons, but the belief is that it's not involving anything Title IX, student welfare, or NCAA rules. This is just the incident that Trey laid out for us with Michael Trigg there on the sideline.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Probably doesn't look good for Mac Rhodes.
No, it does not. We've got a big basketball game happening down in Tuscaloosa tonight as number 1, number 2 Purdue, depending on what poll you subscribe to. They're number 1 in one poll, number 2 in another. They're taking on Bama. Bama's 8 in one poll, 9 in another poll. The Tide about a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is 175.5 points. Could be a high-scoring game. Is it just me, or does it seem like Purdue's Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer that they have played there for like ever?
Braden Smith
Well,
seems like he has played there forever.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, I know.
Like when I started looking over some Purdue stuff the other day, I'm like going, these guys are still playing? Like, what are they, like 7th year COVID, red shirt, medical, whatever the case may be? I mean, seriously, they've played there, seems like forever.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is actually Braden Smith's only his 4th year.
So he's
playing.
a real senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy
what about
to believe.
Lawyer?
Hang
Fletcher. I know he's a senior. Is it still 3.5 point spread?
3.
Ooh,
Alabama -3.
someone bought the hook.
on. Yeah, he's in the same boat.
So both of them are 4th-year seniors.
Yeah. Now, I think part of it too is they have started like every single game since they were true freshmen.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
it
why it
seems
feels
they
like they've
played
been
forever,
around. Yeah.
because they,
Does it list how many games he's played, like in his career for Purdue?
Lawyer has played 112, and Braden Smith has also played 112. So they've literally played in every single game
That's
since they've been
amazing.
in college,
Yeah.
and they've started every single game since they've been in college.
That is amazing, especially in this day and time of players only getting a couple years, maybe.
Yeah.
They're off to the NBA.
Well, and Braden Smith was, I believe he was a preseason Wooden Award, like preseason All-Man. Like he was, going to be, and he's a really good player, but you look at Lawyer, he's been the star for them. He's averaging almost 23 a game.
I wonder who the oldest player we have in Division I this year in basketball. Is it Chad Baker Mazar?
It very well may.
It could be. He's got to be a good, 26 now? 25?
Now, will Chad Baker Mazar, will he be welcome back to Auburn when
I
they
don't
have
know.
the Final Four celebration in like 10 years?
I have no idea. Maybe so.
He apparently made some people irritated on social media.
I think he irritates a lot of people.
Yeah, well, that's
If he's scoring points for your team, it doesn't bother you as much. But yeah, if you're somebody else,
He
other
is
than
good at doing that.
the team he's on, but he'll be forgotten about now that he's at USC.
So Alabama has beaten 3 opponents under Coach Nate Oates that's been ranked number 1 or number 2 in the AP poll. They beat number 1 North Carolina back in November of 2022, number 1 Houston in December of 2022, number 1 Auburn in March of 2025. Overall, Oates is 3-4 as Alabama's head coach when he faces either the number 1 or number 2 ranked team in America.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is kind of funny. I found the oldest player in college basketball. All right, how old do we think he is?
27.
28.
29.
He's 28. His name is Ramel Bethea,
Oh, yeah.
and he plays for the University of Wisconsin Green Bay, which, if I'm not mistaken, is that not where Doug Gottlieb went to coach?
Is it Green Bay or Milwaukee? I can't remember. It's one of those. It might be Green Bay.
It is Doug Gottlieb's team, which was
Okay.
terrible last year. But yeah, 28 years old.
28 years old.
I forgot Doug Gottlieb got into coaching.
I just remember because it was a disaster.
Well, if you remember last year's game against the Boilermakers, the Tides played them the last 2 years. Last year was an 87-78 road defeat. During the 2023-24 season, you remember they met in Canada. They played in Toronto, and Purdue won that one. Final was 92-86, a little bit of a closer game. So should be a good one tonight between these two teams. And if Alabama were to get this one, you want to talk about as long as you don't completely tank an SEC play, these are two that will go a very long way, just like when Auburn plays Houston coming up. You get that one, then all of a sudden that changes your resume dramatically.
Well, in Alabama, so they're number 8 now. I think they jumped, 7 spots after the St. John's. If you beat Purdue tonight, you should be the number 1 team in the country. You have 2 top 5 wins.
Conrad's calling it now.
If they
number
win.
1 in America.
You beat the number 2 and number 5 team in the country in the first 2 weeks of the season?
It's November.
Somebody's got to be number 1 right now.
You could definitely make the argument they won't get voted number 1.
No, they won't, but can't tell me anybody else has a resume close to that.
Conrad's going to die on that hill. He's not going to hear it.
I feel like that's the coldest take I could possibly have.
You have too many Big Ten beat writers that are soured towards the SEC now because of what's going on in football.
I mean, nobody's going to be watching SEC basketball.
Oh, I mean, people don't want to talk about it now.
No.
We got 2 months before people are ready for basketball.
Sorry, guys.
Did you break it to Paige that you are undergoing something next week?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's supposed to arrive today. Let's check my phone.
Man, you got
see if it's been delivered yet.
You sprung for overnight shipping on that thing?
Yeah, listen, just like we did when we had to go through customs in Norway to get the surströmming, we had to go through an act of Congress, literally, to get that.
Mm.
There was a lot going on during that time frame.
So is this authentic from the motherland?
From Plymouth.
That's what we do.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to wear it, you're going to wear the real stuff.
I appreciate it. Did you find the buckles?
Yeah, we got the buckles.
Okay. I got the shoes.
But we have to decide what is the threshold of you dressing up. Like what is the minimal number of you dressing up?
$100.
Oh, come on. Fat Joe's already told us that he'll give us 100.
Exactly. So it's already done.
When are we going to come up with our tiers of the challenges? We got to go through all of those texts because we had some really good ones.
We were actually working this morning in the office, so we didn't give a chance to have like fun conversations.
I know.
We're actually talking about work, which should make the audience happy.
Yeah, it was coaching stuff.
We're actually preparing.
Carousel stuff.
Preparing for the show. I'm still waiting for Faye's suggestion.
Yeah, what she said yesterday was she had a challenge, but no
5 gallons of gravy.
Details.
5 gallons of gravy, buddy.
I did mention that something about that to Paige. I said, yeah, somebody had mentioned something about me having to drink an entire thing of gravy, just straight gravy with nothing else. She was not a fan of that.
Why? Would you rather consume it or have it poured on you?
I'd rather have it poured on me, I think.
What about both?
No.
Okay.
I'd rather have the either or in that scenario.
So we'll make him eat the cranberry sauce.
Yes.
While you dump the gravy on top of it.
Yes.
I want the gravy though to have giblets in it. Just Conrad a month from now, he smells something.
And
he doesn't know where it's coming from, and he's got a giblet. It's down in his ear canal. Hopefully that happens. Just kidding. We're earplugs.
Can't wait. It'll be fun.
Keep in mind, we're doing this for a worthy cause.
We're doing this for, yes.
This is not just us being mean, typically, to Conrad.
We're doing this to help out families during the holidays.
Yes.
And don't forget, I have a whole bunch of glitter I can use
Ooh.
for something.
You do gravy first and then douse it with glitter.
Glitter, yes.
Just cake on that glitter on top of that gravy.
Yeah, y'all are in the driver's seat now because I can't say no to anything because it's for a good cause. So
Yeah.
you can pretty much make me do whatever I want. And
Oh,
if I say
trust me.
no, then I'm going to look like the bad guy.
You will.
Yeah, I'm aware of the situation that I'm in.
Do I also understand your mother is going to chaperone this situation?
That's correct. My mother said she would like to be up here when we do this next Wednesday
Good.
because she's never gotten to see me.
I really like your
Be
mom.
shamed.
She's really good people.
Yeah, she is.
She is. She's a wonderful person.
Be good to catch up.
I'm sure she'll
We'll give our progress report, how you're doing.
I'm sure she'll be very appreciative of you guys taking care of me.
All right, coming up next, we're going to go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as the Alabama Crimson Tide, they get ready to host the Oklahoma Sooners. A Bama win almost locks them into the college football playoff. A loss, and things all of a sudden gets very interesting for that big game on the plains of Auburn in a couple weeks. Rodney Orr from Tider Insider, he will join the program. Also next hour, Rob Pate, former Auburn DB. Brett Norsworthy joining the show at 12:30. He is 8-4, by the way, on his I Ain't Scared bold predictions, including Last week, he said take Wake Forest. And guess what happened? Wake beat Virginia. We'll see what he's got in store for us. And also Eric Henry from Horns 247. He'll be making his way to Athens, Georgia, as the Dogs hosting the Horns this weekend. All that straight ahead. 3 more hours to go. 3-Man Front.